versed in the versed well versed in the literatures of devotional service and has attained the stage of firm faith is called a first class person in Krishna consciousness. And in the second class, and in the second class are those who are not very advanced in understanding the devotional scriptures but who automatically have firm faith that Krishna bhakti or service to Krishna is the best course, and so in good faith have taken it up. Thus they are superior to the third class who have neither perfect knowledge of the scriptures nor good faith but by association and simplicity are trying to follow. The third class person in Krishna consciousness may fall down, but when one is in second class, he does not fall down. And for the first class person in Krishna consciousness, there is no chance of falling down. One in the first class will surely make progress and achieve the result at the end. As far as the third class person in Krishna consciousness is concerned, although he has faith in the conviction that devotional service to Krishna is very good, he has not yet gained adequate knowledge of Krishna through the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam in Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes this third class person in Krishna consciousness have some tendency towards karma yoga and jnana yoga, and sometimes they are disturbed, but as soon as the infection of karma yoga or jnana yoga is vanquished, they become second class or first class person in Krishna consciousness. Faith in Krishna is also divided into three stages and described in Srimad Bhagavatam. First class attachment, second class attachment, and third class attachment are also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 11th canto. Those who have no faith even after hearing about Krishna and the excellence of devotional service, who think that it is simply eulogy, find the path very difficult, even if they are supposedly engaged in the devotional service. For them, there For them, there is very little hope of gaining perfection. Thus, faith is very important in the discharge of devotional service. Hare Krishna.
So we will take few minutes and we will discuss this verse. 9.3, if anybody would like to open on their end, as Mataji just stopped sharing.
Mataji, I stopped because maybe some people want to or you or the others want to show the part that they're talking about.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Mataji. That's why I just
more dynamic like that.
Yeah.
I can always share if nobody can, but that
No,
was
no,
not
no. You're
idea.
good. You're good, Mataji. You're good.
I can go, Mataji.
Yeah, please start, Mataji.
Okay, so here is talking about faith. Ashraddha Danaha has the word Shraddha in it. So, Shraddha and lack of Shraddha. So, we know that this is going to be important. Some people are going to have, and some people are not going to have. Give me a second, Mataji. Okay. Okay. So faith is Prabhupada is saying there, without faith, no one can really engage in this process of devotional service. And that if we don't have faith, we're not going to engage in this process of devotional service. And if we don't engage in this process of devotional service, we have to take birth again. This is what he's saying. So it's talking about what's important to develop this faith. Well, we cannot develop the faith if we do not get together with the people that have the faith. So that's why association with devotees is so important, because if we are not getting together with devotees, then we are doing what the other people are doing. And if we're getting together with people who are talking about mundane things, then we're going to be thinking about mundane things. And if we're thinking about mundane things, we develop attachment for mundane things. On the other hand, if we get together with devotees, devotees are always talking about Krishna, and then devotees themselves remind us of Krishna. Last time when we got together, I was putting tilak on Christina Mataji, then Vanamalini Mataji was putting tilak on the other devotees too. Even seeing like a tilak on the devotee, we think immediately of Krishna. And not only tilak is to put in the 12 parts of the body for protection, but also to say, my body is temple for Krishna. And then when other people see, also they remember, oh, like that's the Krishna devotee, they think, so they think of Krishna right away. So like even things like this, the way we dress, the way we speak to, we have to also, we get together with devotees, they have so many good qualities. And as we get together with devotees, our qualities also improve because we're getting together with them. Then our speech, becomes better. We start developing all those qualities because of the mercy of the devotees and because of the mercy of Krishna. But like that, and then we are reminding each other like that, we're doing things for the guru, we're doing things for Krishna, we're trying to help people who are open, and whoever wants to hear, they can benefit from that, and whoever wants to chant, they can benefit from that. So I think this is some of the important things talking about. And like also like the philosophy we get to know through the devotees, and the devotees have like the mercy to bring that knowledge through the parampara, so from their guru to the disciples, and like that it just comes down. And so just by listening to Krishna's pastimes, anything about Bhagavad Gita, anything about Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all of the other books that we're reading, they're also going to be reminding us of the Lord and to chant and to the Lord's pastimes. And like that, we develop the faith. And so and that is what is going to make us develop more attachment to be engaging on the service of the Lord. And then it's talking about the different types of devotee, first class, second class, and third class. And maybe Manamalini Mataji can talk a little bit more about that. But they are going to be the evidence of that faith getting stronger, leaving behind the material attachments and attaching ourselves more to engaging with the devotees and the service of the Lord and thinking about Krishna. But
Thank
if
you.
if one is not like engaging on these things, then it's talking here about the risk of like not engaging in devotional service too, because the most terrible thing is that we forget Krishna, and we just like dive into material pleasure, and then in that way just diving deeper and deeper into that material enjoyment and material attachment, and that's just like the cycle of birth and death, and just being in the material world, which has like all the different kinds of suffering, just repeated birth and old age, disease, death, and all of the sufferings from the mind and caused by others and by natural disaster, etc. Mataji.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji. Anyone else would like to share?
I like the very last sentence, Mataji. Thus, faith is very important in the discharge of devotional service. I just like that sentence because why do devotional service just like a water wheel with no meaning? You just go through the motions. But if you have faith, it is something totally different. It's you offer yourself, and I don't know. I'll stop talking now, but I just love that sentence. Yeah, I mean, it's yes, you have to have faith, and it's so important to discharge devotional service. Okay, stop.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. It's okay. Even if you feel like talking more and more, please go ahead and talk because you're talking about Krishna. That's okay. Don't feel bad for talking about Krishna at any point of time.
Because I can see it's like you're reading this chapter to me. I can see myself in this, text. It's like, fall down and get up. Krishna is not gonna forget you.
Hari Bol. Anybody else would like to share any point that from the today's 9.3 verse? Don't get cautious of recording. Asaswini Mataji asked me to record, so I'm just recording it. If you are having discomfort because this is getting recorded, let me know. I will remove the recording and then you all can freely talk. We are all here like a family. Nobody is going to judge us whether whether you ask for removing recording or you want recording to be there or not. This is not going to be circulated as much. Like it's just maybe she wants to listen as she's missing the session today.
Who was that, Mataji?
Yes, Aswini Mataji.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Yashaswini Mataji.
Oh yeah, that's so nice. Because she will listen.
I noticed that the recording started, and then I did have some hesitation in saying, but the good thing is that it's just us, and that we can always be corrected. So
Yes,
that's good.
absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
And like sometimes we are confused about something, and I think it's really good when we get corrected because then it's like it gets more into our mind that, oh, like, yeah, I remember that, when I was confused about that, and then when Amalini Mataji explained and I understood how it really is. Like for me, it really helps me like that.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji. Anybody would like to share anything? Uh, so Krishna is so wonderfully, if we observe Bhagavad Gita, the more and the more we observe, the more and more we read in detail every line, we learn so many things. Krishna, after speaking in 9.1 and 9.2, the glories of the knowledge that he's going to give us in this chapter, which will free us from all kinds of inauspiciousness, burns all our sinful reactions, purifies us. He tells all those things. But if one does not have faith, so the faith here, Krishna is not talking, the faith Krishna here is talking about faith in devotional service to the Lord, Bhakti Yoga. Many of us, faith is at different levels, many people have faith that there is some supreme power. And that is one level of belief, that there is one supreme level. People believe that. And further, people believe sometimes that that supreme level can be impersonal. That is also a level of a faith. And then people believe that the supreme power is personal. He has a form. He's not formless. And then this is the form. So these are the different types of faith we see. So here particularly, Krishna is talking about faith in Bhakti Yoga, faith that we need to have in Bhakti Yoga, and what happens if we don't have that. So Krishna is talking about that here in this beautiful verse, Asraddhadhana. So let me share that so you all can see. Mm. Sorry, Mataji and Prabhuji, I have to stop. Yeah, am I muted or unmuted? I'm getting confused between the recording button and the.
We're hearing you, Mataji.
Oh, okay. Just give me a second, Mataji.
Mataji, what did you say? Mataji?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Something is
Yes,
problem
Mataji.
for me.
Now we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So Krishna is talking about like here Asraddhadhana. As already Ekradhika Mataji has mentioned, Shraddha means faith. Asraddha means complete opposite of not having faith. So Asraddhadhana Purusha, those who are not having faith, who are faithless. Such persons. Purusha is such persons. Dharmasyasya parantarpa. In the dharma, what dharma? Performing devotional service to the Lord. He already mentioned in the previous verse that pure bhakti, pure devotional service to the Lord is the highest dharma. Pavitram idam uttamam. It is the highest transcendental dharma. So those who don't have faith in that, what is going to happen to them? Aprapyamam nivartante. Aprapyamam nivartante. After leaving this body, that person will never be attaining me. That means he will never be able to attain Krishna. As he does not have faith in devotional service, he does not have faith, he don't practice that, and he don't practice to attain Krishna. Obviously, he will not attain Krishna because of not having the faith. When we don't have faith, we don't seek that thing. So that's why he won't have. So he will not see, he will not attain Krishna. So what is the problem in not attaining Krishna? Immediately Krishna says that Mrityu samsara vartmani. You are going to come back into this world, into the cycle of samsara is like cycle of birth and death. So he's going to come back into the cycle of birth and death. So Krishna is explaining here the consequences of faithlessness. So we all sometimes uh, we quickly, like, when you are sowing the seeds, you have to wait for a certain amount of time for that seed to grow and become a plant and give fruits and flowers. In between itself, if you lose the faith and if you start digging the place where you have sown the seed and removing that seed that you have sown, or you stop watering the plant, or you stop taking care of it, and by not having faith in it, it will not come to the end point of where it can grow nicely and give fruits and flowers. So similarly, the devotional service, if you lose faith in devotional service, that is what it is going to end up in. So when we don't have faith, we will be continuing the cycle of birth and death. Like how if you don't have faith in medicine that is given to you by a doctor, you don't take that medicine. And when you don't take that medicine, you will not be cured. And you will be still sick. And you will be continuing to be sick. So that is what is going to happen. And here, Prabhupada in Purport, he uses the three adhikaris that we are going to discuss. So the faith here is not something which is very natural to us, because we are not at that level where it naturally comes for us, the love for Krishna, or for doing devotional service or anything. We have to grow that faith. We have to trust the sources, and we have to take care of that faith, because it's very easy to become faithless. So if, like, let's say there are many people who may be performing devotional service, like who may be chanting, who may be singing and dancing in the temples, who may be doing lot of services, but their faith is not strong. Inside they have a lot of doubts, and if they don't work on those doubts, like they won't go and ask the people to clarify those doubts, or they don't read scriptures and philosophy about clarifying those doubts, they may be able to continue what they are doing for a longer time, but with no use really, because there is no transformation of heart happening. Because if we are really sincerely practicing bhakti yoga, we can easily see the progress. Like, let's say if you are taking the medicine for any disease, you will see the progress, that you are getting cured, you are feeling happy, your energy is back, you are able to do the things the way you are doing before you got sick. So you will know that the medicine is working. Similarly, already the bhakti yoga, how it works, is established before. So when we are practicing bhakti yoga sincerely, we will be happy, our material cravings will be lessen, we will start realizing self, we will have, our faith in Krishna will be increasing, and then any situation will not be able to shatter us. We are completely satisfied, happy, and then always want to engage in Krishna service. We are regular in service. So many things will happen, which shows that we are taking the medicine of devotional service to the Lord with faith, and it's working. And when we are not doing that with faith, when we are doing only an external act of devotional service, but internally we have lot of doubts, and we are not putting our heart there, that medicine is not really working in the way it has to work, because we ourselves don't have faith in that. So this faith, when we have doubts, we should not suppress our doubts. We have to get them clarified. Like how like when you are practicing dance, first day, if you have to dance for 5 minutes, that dance number, after dancing for 2 or 3 minutes, you will get tired, and then you will not have that muscle memory or that strength in your legs or anything. So if you keep practicing, you will develop that memory, and then you will be very strong, and then you will perform wonderfully. So in the same way, bhakti also has to be, all the doubts has to be cleared by reading philosophy. In the association of devotees, we have to practice, and we have to clarify our doubts, and we have to engage ourselves in the purification process until, because in the previous sloka Krishna already told that the devotional service is going to purify you. So when we are doing with faith the devotional service, when purification is happening, it will not be hidden somewhere in our heart, the purification. It will be visible, very much bright outside. Like you are always happy, satisfied. You don't have anything material, but you are still happy and satisfied, because you don't have any kind of impurities inside you. Lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, envy, jealousy, all those things are not there inside you, which are making you to be making you a rotten tomato or something like that. Now all those things are removed from inside you, so you are fully happy, purified, satisfied. So that works. So we need to put effort in building that faith. If we are not putting effort in building that faith, and when we are only doing an external act of devotion and not clearing our doubts, or putting any effort in clearing our doubts, like we are thinking like that doubt should be, somebody should come and prove to us and clarify our doubts, but we will not go and ask, we will not put any effort. If it is the truth, it should be visible to me. This is something I heard from some people, like, if it's truth, it is visible to everybody like a black and white thing. No, that is not. So many times, even in the human to human relations also, in front of you the truth will be there, but if you are blinded by some kind of a illusion or anger or jealousy or envy, you will not be able to see. Like say, if you are blinded by the jealousy for some person, even though that person is having lot of real talent and getting prizes for that real talent, you will find some fault, and you will say that that is luck. So it's not that if truth is in front of us, everybody will know. No, not everybody will know. Only those who are purified will be able to know. And Krishna was present in front. Duryodhana could never recognize, could never take shelter, could never take guidance from him. And all the demons also never. So it is not that just because these demons are not approaching, surrendering, and taking Krishna, Krishna is not truth, and Krishna is truth only to certain people and not to certain people. No, these people are blinded. They are closing their eyes. They are filled with impurities. Maya Devi, she puts a curtain. She closes their vision. She will not let them see Krishna as easy. So that's why they are not able to see. So it is the same thing with all of us also. So if we really want this medicine to work on us and make us purified and happy, we need to practice that in the association of the devotees and all. So Prabhupada so wonderfully brings this verse. Those who are not faithful in devotional service, so the faith should be in Bhakti Yoga. The faith which here Krishna is talking is in the Bhakti Yoga. Those who are not faithful in devotional service cannot attain me. So those who don't have faith in Bhakti Yoga cannot attain Krishna. O conqueror of enemies, therefore they return to the path of birth and death in the material world. So when we are not attaining Krishna, wherever we go, we are going to come back to the cycle of birth and death. It is so clear. It's so clear. Whatsoever land you say, Surya's land, Indra's land, Brahma's loka, any loka we go, we will come back to the cycle of birth and death if we are not going to Krishna, if we are not going to Vaikuntha. The faithless cannot accomplish this process of devotional service. That is the purport of this verse. Very clear. Those who don't have faith in devotional service, they won't take up this process. Faith is created by association with devotees. Unfortunate people, even after hearing all the evidence of Vedic literature from great personalities, still have no faith in God. They are hesitant and cannot stay fixed in devotional service of the Lord. Thus, faith is a most important factor for progress in Krishna consciousness. So, some of us may be chanting for years and years, but we don't see any progress because we don't have that internal faith that this Harinama is going to give me the ultimate protection. Many of us may be coming from, maybe hearing, nowadays we have internet, and many of us hear lectures from many people, and unfortunately or fortunately we hear from different schools. So when we are hearing from different schools, different philosophical thoughts, which are also bona fide, like Advaita, Saiva, Sakteya, all these are also bona fide process. They are not, it's not that they are not bona fide process. They are all bona fide process, but their perception of the Supreme Lord is different. But all of us are talking based on the teachings of the previous acharyas. None of us are realized, but we talk as if we are all realized. That is the unfortunate thing. People all fight and talk as if they are realized, and they spend all their time in these unfaithful discussions only. But nobody really takes up the path and practices it with faith. So I highly recommend anybody to first practice something. Without practice, we will not be able to know. Without chanting, we will not be able to understand. Many doubts will be sprouting in our heart. So if we really want to make progress and understand Krishna as he is, or even if we don't think that the supreme absolute truth has no form, or is something else or something, first of all we have to start journey on that road. When we start journey on that road, until we reach the end point, we will know what is there. And for reaching that end point, any sampradaya you take, they cannot tell you otherwise other than chanting of the holy names of the Lord, because that's the dharma for yuga. That is the dharma for yuga, chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Nama Smarana is what is recommended for self-realization in Kali Yuga. No other process is recommended. Religious activities that we do, Archana and all other so many things, so many other things we do, those are all not recommended. The recommended process for Kali Yuga, with all the limitations that we have, all of us are not finding time to chant 16 rounds in a day. That itself, after giving so many exceptions, like you can chant anytime, anywhere, you can chant in bus, or you can chant while you are walking, You can chant in the night. You can chant after eating food. After giving so many exceptions also, none of us are able to chant the holy names of the Lord with faith. What else we will be able to do? Meditation for hours and hours, performing the archanas, yajnas, yagas. No, we are only just escaping from chanting of the holy names by telling ourselves that, oh, holy names may not have the power. I will do something other than holy name, chanting of the holy name, which is very bigger and higher. And I don't need to chant holy names of the Lord. My dear devotees, we are just deceiving ourselves and we are depriving ourselves of the satisfaction that we deserve. So for this yoga, any process, any path, any school will tell Namasmarana. Chanting the holy names of the Lord is what is recommended. And for this Kali Yuga, as Radhikesh Prabhu was forwarding from Bhakti Samhita by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, for different yugas, there are different mantras prescribed by the Rishis. They are not given by ISKCON or they are not given by Srila Prabhupada, or they are prescribed for this yoga by the acharyas, previous acharyas. So we don't need to become envious of anything. We just have to have trust and faith in that process and start chanting with faith, with full faith that this mantra is going to deliver me. This mantra is going to purify me. This mantra is going to get rid of all my previous sinful reactions. That mantra is going to make my life better eternally. This faith we should have in Bhakti Yoga. So when we have that faith, the progress is very obvious, because when you are chanting every mantra, you are chanting as if, like when you're taking that medicine, they always say in my childhood, like, if you take medicine without faith, it will not work. How powerful it is. Faith is like something really, really very important. With trust, with faith, because ya yatamam prapadyante, Krishna says, like, with what intentions you come and surrender to me, I reciprocate in that way. So Harinam is so powerful, and with faith, if we are chanting, if we are taking medicine as prescribed by the doctor with faith that it is going to cure you, it is definitely going to cure you, and it will be very obvious when it gets cured. You don't need to. It will after it gets cured, you'll get back your energy. Your disease is gone. It's very obvious in your body. Similarly, when we are progressing in Krishna consciousness, the satisfaction that we achieve, the purification that happens within us, and the transformation that comes in us is very obvious. We don't need to pretend, act, show, talk, or do anything. It will be so obvious it comes in us. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that faith is, I think you are all able to see the verse I'm sharing, right? For some reason, today everything is behaving a little weird. I don't see what I'm sharing also. That's why I can't see what I'm sharing. Okay. So this is the wonderful verse. If you see this verse, if you all just go and search this in Veda base, Prabhupada has referred this verse many places. This is Yathatharor Moolas Nishchichena. So this verse is referred. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that faith is complete conviction that simply by serving the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, one can achieve all perfection. This is called real faith. So this is another aspect that I was discussing in some other class this week. See, we try to satisfy hundreds of people in this world, and we give up because we cannot satisfy them. Different people have different requirements, different tantrums they have, and then we won't be able to satisfy. So if we satisfy Krishna, if we like how, like if you are having, if you don't have energy, your hands shake, your legs shake. By keeping a big food in your hand, your hand shaking will not stop, because hand cannot do anything when it has food in its hand. Unless it eats and it goes into stomach, that energy does not pass through the entire body. Once the energy passes through the entire body, the hand stops shaking, or automatically the hand stops shaking. So similarly, when we satisfy the Supreme Lord, when we pour water to the root of the tree, automatically the branches, twigs, leaves, everything will get food, and everything will grow nicely, wonderfully. So when we engage in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord, in second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th chapter, beginning slokas, Parikshit Maharaj, when he wants Sukadeva Goswami to continue talking, he explains the glories of hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam or performing the devotional service to the Lord. In that, he mentions that when we are performing the devotional service to the Lord, what is going to happen? I'll just bring up those verses so that I can exactly use those words. So the sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, Srimad Bhagavatam, or chanting of the holy names of the Lord, enters into the heart of a self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust and anger and hankering, and thus it acts like autumnal rains upon the pools of muddy water. So it is going to purify us. Krishna takes the responsibility of purifying us. So once we are purified, once we don't have any of these things, lust, anger, greed, hankering, our behavior will be in such a way that it will be pleasing to everybody. Because we are not seeing distinction in the bodies that we are seeing right now. We have grown to the level of Uttama Adhikari, where we are able to see Krishna and soul in everybody. We now are not we are now not having any of these impurities. So if we engage ourselves sincerely in the transcendenting loving service of the Lord, and if we satisfy the Lord starts cleansing our heart of all the impurities that we have been accumulating from millions and millions of births. Some of those things we don't even know until they come into action. So therefore, after reading Bhagavad Gita, one should promptly come to the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. One should give up all other engagements and adapt the service of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. If one is convinced of this philosophy of life, that is faith. So if one is convinced that when I serve Krishna, everything falls in place, everything will be good, everything will be satisfied, everybody will be satisfied, even I will be happy, I will be satisfied. If we have this faith, this is the solution for all the problems that I am having right now, then the progress in Krishna consciousness cannot be stopped. We will progress. That is faith. Now, the development of the faith is the process of Krishna consciousness. Again, people have a misconception that they think that faith is something that should be naturally coming to us and we should not develop it or we should not be trying to grow it. That is again wrong. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see that how the Bhakti Lata Bija will be very tender in the beginning. When we plant a seed, the small plant that comes out of the earth will be very tender. We need to give protection to that plant so that the weeds around it won't take the energy that we are giving to it, or a deer or an animal don't come and crush on it. So we have to give protection. When we give protection and it becomes strong, it can protect itself. So in the similar way, when our faith is dwindling, when it is shaky, little problem that we face in the life, we start not believing in Krishna or not believing in the process, then we need to protect it. We have to, because right now we are in a swinging process. So we have to be protecting it. Development of faith is the process of Krishna consciousness. So we have to perform devotional service to the Lord in such a way that from Kanishta Adhikari to Uttama Adhikari, we have to grow from a third class devotee to first class devotee. For that, what we need patience. If we don't have patience, and if we have lot of doubts and we are not clearing those doubts and our impatience is going to kill that plant, and then it will go away. It will completely get rid of that. So we have to be very careful when you are nurturing something. We have to be very careful. In the third class devotee, in the third class are those who have no faith. Even if they are officially engaged in devotional service, they cannot achieve highest perfectional stage. So I already talked about this. These people don't have faith. They think that only Krishna is there in the deity, in the temple. So as soon as they come out of the temple, they behave in a way which is not pleasing to Krishna. So this is the first set of people. They can only see Krishna in the deities in the temple. Most probably they will slip after some time. They may be engaged, but because they have not complete conviction and faith, it is very difficult them to continue in Krishna consciousness. So we see this kind of a people. They won't be able to continue in Krishna consciousness because of lack of faith. So people, because of lack of faith, they cannot grow and they go away. We have practical experience in discharging our missionary activity that some people come and apply themselves to Krishna consciousness with some hidden motive. There will be some people with hidden motive also, because we see that people easily trust devotees. So they come into this movement to do something else, to do business or to make friends, or to have a nice food. Or to take advantage of the friendships, something or the other, except Krishna, they want everything else with a hidden motive. And as soon as they are economically little well situated, they give up this process and go to their old ways. So once their motive is met, they give up this process and they go away. So these kind of a people we often come across when we are inviting and hosting the programs, because of lack of faith and because they come with an hidden motive, not for purification or not for knowing Krishna, they will drift away. It is only by faith that one can advance in Krishna consciousness. As far as development of faith is concerned, one who is well versed in the literatures of the devotional service and has attained the stage of firm faith is called a first class person in Krishna consciousness. So the Uttama Adhikari, the first class person, has now read all the scriptures and have a strong faith. And in the second class are those who are not very advanced in understanding the devotional scriptures, but who automatically have firm faith. So these bhaktas, the Madhyama Adhikaris, they may not know all the scriptures and they may not be able to explain or clarify doubts, but they have faith in Krishna. So these people have faith in Krishna, but they may not be able to explain. But the first class devotee, they will be able to clarify our doubts also, because they have read all the scriptures, they have full knowledge, and they will help us to help others also to progress. So the Madhyama Adhikari may not be able to help others in their progress by clearing their doubts, but he can set an example with his faith when he is performing some services, like when he is cooking, when he is doing kirtan, when he is doing those kind of things, his faith is obviously visible in those activities. And by in that way, he is going to inspire other devotees and help other devotees to get motivation in performing the devotional service of the Lord. Thus, they are superior to the third class. So that's why the second class people are superior to third class, and first class devotees are superior to second class, who have neither perfect knowledge of scriptures or nor good faith by association and simplicity or trying to follow. The third class person in Krishna consciousness may fall down, but when one is in the second class, he does not fall down. So the second class people will not fall down because their faith is firm. They may not be able to answer all the questions. I have seen so many wonderful devotees who may not be reading a lot of scriptures, who may not be able to answer any of your questions, but their faith is so strong. They are so simple, and their devotion is so strong that they practice wonderfully. Now, for these devotees, Krishna is going to help them. Krishna is going to give them knowledge, and Krishna is going to help them clarify their doubts and also other doubts. Krishna is not going to leave these devotees because they are not well versed in philosophy. Because they have faith, Krishna is going to take care of them. And for the first class person in Krishna consciousness, there is no chance of falling down. So the second and first class devotees, they won't fall down from their position. If at all they are going, they'll go only up. One in the first class will surely make progress and achieve the result at the end. As far as the third class person in Krishna consciousness is concerned, although he has faith in the conviction that devotional service to Krishna is very good, he has not yet gained advocate knowledge of Krishna through the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes these third class persons in Krishna consciousness have some tendency towards karma yoga and jnana yoga. So these people think that, oh, this is something nice, good. It's good. Bhajan is good. Lecture is good. But I don't have that much faith. I don't want to follow or change myself completely and do. I do this because this is some punya. This is going to give me some good vibes. This is actually making my mental stress a little bit less. Otherwise, I have so much stress outside world. Or else this is punya. This is going to remove all my troubles. This is going to anyway do good only to me. Like that, people practice. And sometimes they are disturbed, but as soon as the infection of karma yoga and gnana yoga is vanquished, they become second class devotees. So once, even if they have this thought that they are doing this for punya and they are continuing and doing, when they are continuing and doing that, if these thoughts go away, they will also progress and go to the level of second class. Like when they engage themselves, initially they may be engaging in these all these activities like they are punya, but they are regularly listening, reading, and doing all those things. And they are learning so much about Krishna. They are learning so much about the devotional process. Then they will progress. And we can here see in our own congregation itself, there are so many wonderful, beautiful devotees who have dedicated their time to readings. And I personally have seen them, their faith growing tremendously. They became humble, they became pure, they are happy reading that 15 minutes, 20 minutes, learning, knowing. They are so happy as if like they have a lottery. And I'm seeing other set of people. I also see, because with Krishna's mercy, I have association with many congregations, and I talk, and I see so many people who are well versed, who talk, but they don't practice, and they are still there where they are after so many years also, because this infection of karma yoga and gnana yoga is not cured for them yet. And the simple devotees who may in the beginning may not have a lot of knowledge about Krishna, but they listen to a guru and they follow the process, and they are engaged in a devotional service regularly, even though it is a 15 minutes devotional service. I have seen people very sincere to that 15 minutes every day, and then reading the scriptures. They have been reading and chanting, 15 minutes chanting, 15 minutes reading. That 30 minutes of a day has brought a tremendous progress from then those who fail to commit to even that 30 minutes because of their faithlessness, because of other reasons. People afraid to commit to 30 minutes a day to a Krishna conscious activity. Even if you are having some other faith, even if you think that Krishna is not supreme or something, dedicate yourself to this process. This chanting of the holy name and reading the scriptures is going to take us only in upward directions. It is not going to take us anywhere downward. This much guarantee even I can give. I may not be a great devotee. So we need to pick this up. Faith in Krishna is also divided in 3 stages as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. First class attachment, second class attachment, and third class attachment are also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam in 11th canto. Those who have no faith, even after hearing about Krishna and the excellence of devotional service, who think that this is simply eulogy, find the path very difficult, even if they are supposedly engaged in devotional service. So faith is the key factor. If you put faith and perform the devotional service, results will be seen. If you don't have the faith and you are only just acting devotional service, it's not going to do anything. If you are acting good, but if you are not really good, one day that acting will go away, because you cannot put up that mask for a longer time. As mask becomes heavy when you are carrying more and more, and the reality will come out. Similarly, if we are not really having faith and performing devotional service, that is not going to help us. We need to have trust and faith in this process. There are so many millions and millions of devotees are practicing, and there are so many acharyas giving and reading from the scriptures and telling us this is going to help us. And any sampradaya you take, and you go and ask a sincere practitioner in that sampradaya. Fortunately or unfortunately, people send me, and I'm into a family where in my family itself there are people who follow different sampradayas, and I get to hear and I see that a sincere practitioner in those sampradayas also will say, what is that thing that I should do in Kali Yuga to realize the absolute truth? They will immediately say, do the Nama Sankirtana, chant the holy names of the Lord. And you go and tell them that I'm chanting Hare Krishna Mahamanta, they'll say, oh, you are set, go and chant that. If a real practitioner will not say that, oh, this is something wrong, you should not be doing it, because it's not. It's the recommended process for Kali Yuga, and it is mentioned in the scriptures. So we need to do this. Without taking medicine, we don't see change. So when we are not taking medicine, actually we lose the right to speak about it also. But unfortunately or fortunately, people, they don't practice anything, but they speak wonderfully. Like, oh, this is not good, this is not right, this is not going to work. They don't even eat. Like how my kid, she won't even eat, and then she'll say this is not good. I'll tell you, didn't even put it in your mouth, how will you know it is not good? So there are many of us like that who don't even practice, and we comment. So we should come out of that, and we should have faith and practice. Give ourselves some time, like, I'm going to practice this for 100 days, I'm going to practice this for 1 year, and see if it is changing anything in my. So that conviction we should have. For them, there is a very little hope of gaining perfection. Thus, faith is very important in the discharge of devotional service. Faith is key. That's why in the bhakti, the first step is Shraddha, faith. We all get failed at that step itself. So faith is very important. So that's what Krishna is saying in this beautiful verse. Krishna does not leave any questions unanswered. How he mentioned that how a faithful person, when practicing devotional service, attain those glorious results, immediately he gives what happens to the faithless person. So he won't leave anything unanswered. I'm going to stop here for the